Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Hey, this is Ashley Spillers, and you're listening to Zero Dark Nerdy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Zero Dark Nerdy, the world's most notorious pop culture podcast, brought to you by the Believe Podcast Network, the number one podcast network for professionals. This is your boy Brian, a.k.a. El Nino, and today I am joined with...
Mateo, a.k.a. The Last Unicorn, a.k.a. Dank Ferrick.
We're definitely going to get into that.
Can we say that? Hey, it's your boy Jadon, a.k.a. Don, a.k.a. Obi-Wan Jabroni.
And we have a new guest in the building today. Go ahead and come on up.
My name is Kip. I'm just a.k.a. Killer Disciple. If you ever see me on Facebook or one of the other social media platforms, the guy with the beautiful voice.
Yes.
Not the homeless guy from back in the day, but I have a home.
Today's episode, we are going to be talking about the season 2 of The Mandalorian. Reactions, reviews, what's coming up next, all that fun stuff. Before we get into that, we are going to take just a quick little time out for one of our sponsors, betonline.ag, and we'll be right back. The NBA and college basketball are back. The NFL playoffs are right around the corner. With all these sports going on, there are plenty of bets to lock in. So if you're thinking about picking the Lakers to repeat their NBA championship or someone to upset Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs, you need to go to betonline.ag. For game spreads and totals to team, player, and coaching props, BetOnline gives you more options to wager than any place online, and there is always the online casino as well. It never closes. So head to betonline.ag today and take advantage of all the great sign-up bonuses. Again, that's betonline.ag and sign up today. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. All right, and we're back. Big thank you again to our sponsors, betonline.ag. We're going to go ahead and start our review with the one and only White Knight himself, Jadon.
I prefer White Wolf.
The White Wolf.
What can you say about this season? It's exactly what we wanted, right? I mean, it continues the Grogu story. We didn't even know his name until halfway through the season.
How do you feel about that?
The name?
The name Grogu.
I mean, it doesn't start with a Y, no. But I mean, it makes sense. It's cute, but it's not cutesy. You know,
Right.
like it's kind of
But he's been like baby Yoda for like
exactly
a year.
like give him a name for fuck's sake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but a whole room was
that to
sitting
rest.
around there, like a room full of people saying, Grogu. It's gonna be Grogu.
Right.
I tell you one thing, like if you're selling like merchandise of him, like Baby Yoda is
gotta
going
give
to
him a
sell
name.
way more than Grogu.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
But whatever, you know, for story, you know, I understand that they had to give him a name, and I don't hate it.
Well, he was just the child.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
the child, and as far as like Yoda and Yaddle, like the other two of the species, like you would think it'd be like Yombly or
Yomli.
Something with a Y.
Yomli.
Yeah.
Yosemite.
Yodel.
but I mean,
Yamandre.
what I really liked about this season versus last season is last season their pattern was kind of like let's give them a mind-blowing episode and then let's give them a filler episode,
Right.
and let's give them a filler-ish and then something. But this season there were maybe 2 filler episodes, I think,
Right.
in the whole season,
If that.
and they got them done early.
Right.
Right.
Nothing. We watched the first one, and the first episode, we were like,
Yeah, we were both just like, nah.
I thought
Yeah.
the first episode
is that
was
where
pretty
this is
strong.
going?
I thought it was
It's-
fine.
It's always filler. A big bad monster that you'll never see again.
That was the one with
Right.
Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah.
Danny Cordray.
I thought it was fine.
My
I thought it was
problem
fine.
with that episode is like, come on, like we know Tatooine. We've been there a billion times. Like we went there twice last season. You know,
I
Like,
hated last season when they went to Tatooine. I hated
yeah. I mean, that was all just fan service. Which I'm a nerd. Give me some fan service. Give me all the good fan service, but just don't treat me like an asshole. Don't just keep going there. You know,
Right.
You got to buy me breakfast first.
right?
Right.
Filler episodes were really early. I think the Tatooine episode and then the ice, like when he got stuck and the ice spiders were
Right.
coming after him. That was kind of a filler thing. The whole thing with the frog lady it was, heartwarming and
Yeah.
funny when Grogu was taking all the eggs, but it was
Which
kind of a
caused an
filler.
uproar. An internet uproar. Like,
It did. People were like
Jesus, like-
freaking out.
The internet.
yeah.
Living thing. You
It's in 2020, man.
Right.
You got, like,
That's
so
a hungry
soft.
kid,
Yeah,
man.
this is not real.
No, you eat the eggs. No.
You saw what he was served, like that goop with the thing in it.
Yeah.
Like,
He's been eating soup this entire time.
Yeah.
Every time I show Baby Yoda, he's eating soup. Give him something. Give him some sustenance.
I appreciate you saying Baby Yoda and not Grogu.
oh my.
Yes, that's who he is.
Hey, Ahsoka says Grogu. It's Grogu.
Ooh.
But we got a ton of fan service. We got a ton of stuff. We were talking about Dave Filoni earlier. He's bringing all of his characters from the cartoons into the live action series and movies, and I love it. I was a big fan of Clone Wars. Rebels is a little more kiddie, but it's got some good shit in it. It's got some really good shit and good concepts. But
Some good characters.
Yeah, some
good
great characters. Kanan Jarrus, Hera. What?
Hera. She's like one of my favorite characters to come out of Dave Filoni. I'm not a Dave Filoni fan
Yeah,
per se. Like I hated Ahsoka.
I love him.
Like the first season of Clone Wars, but like she's grown on me.
Oh, she was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was annoying.
She was a bratty kid.
She
Yeah.
was so annoying. She's like the first 30 minutes of Home Alone.
Right.
The first 30 minutes of Home Alone, she's Kevin McAllister. Like, annoying. Like, oh, why are we supposed to be pulling for this person?
Let's
Like,
go,
she's
Sky
annoying.
Guy.
Yeah. Sky Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's pulling a lot of characters into their new universe,
Right.
and I love it. I love Dave Filoni stuff. I like you said, Hera Syndulla.
Yeah,
is-
Harrison Dula is great.
What's really fun is she's a character from Star Wars Rebels. She's helped the rebellion, begin, and she's an awesome pilot.
And her father, like her
He-
father has been a major character in
in the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, yeah.
Yeah, they like I said, they're bringing everything. And if you look closely in Rogue One, you can see her ship.
It's
in
there.
The final battle of Scarif.
Yes,
it's in
the
there.
ghost is there.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
It is
they're
there
pulling
towards the
really,
end.
really good stuff. But to get back to the episode or the season, I think that they took us where we wanted to go after the bullshit Tatooine episode.
Right.
I think they
they're
took us
pulling
where we didn't know we wanted to go.
right.
Right.
But what I
right.
do dig about what Dave and Jon Favreau are doing is they're pulling from everything. Like they're fans in charge of what they're doing, and they're pulling from everything. They're pulling from '90s video games.
Right.
They're pulling.
Dark Troopers,
Yeah. They're pulling
Yeah.
from all the extended universe, material. They're pulling what they want from stuff that Disney deemed non-canon. They're like, this stuff didn't really happen, but Dave Filoni and others are pulling characters and suiting their purposes for what they're doing now. They're not going through the whole big backstory of Thrawn now. We
Right.
might get it later, but there's a whole trilogy of novels about Grand Admiral Thrawn that came out, I don't know, late 90s, I think.
You're talking about
Heir to the Empire stuff.
You're talking about the Timothy Zahn.
Yeah.
stuff?
Timothy
Yeah.
Zahn.
Yeah.
He did the trilogy.
Trilogy.
It went
Heir of the Empire or whatever it's called.
right. They did. Grand Admiral Thrawn was a huge character in those books,
But it's
and
completely different though.
yeah,
will say
I mean,
that.
from the books versus the cartoons, it's
Right.
he's
is
very different.
It's very different.
But like I said, he's picking and choosing things that he wants in his universe, and we get to see. Sorry, we get to see some of it, and I love it. Anytime I see something I recognize, I'm like, ah!
Right. Makes you sound like a monkey.
Yeah.
One of the things I enjoyed was one of the memes over the weekend where it was like actual like rare footage of Filoni and Favreau like writing episodes, and it's two little kids playing, losing their minds with Star Wars toys, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's exactly what it is and what it has been for them. So
Shit, I would lose my mind if I had that at myself. I'm like, holy
Right.
shit, we're fucking loaded.
If only we kept that shit as kids.
yeah, seriously.
If only.
So Matthew, what's your take on this season?
I thought it was amazing, especially like Jerry said. It's towards the end. They did the stuff early.
Yeah.
right. They knocked that
And
out.
then they sucked you in.
yeah, and then we were all in. Boba, God, oh my God, seeing Boba Fett, and he's such a badass. He's stone cold.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, zero chill.
You see Boba Fett and that glass shatters like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Fucking awesome.
Well, the fans loved him,
Yeah.
and they kind of just did him wrong at the end of Return
Yeah,
of the Jedi.
they did.
So
They did.
I think this is awesome.
And now
they're
he's
giving
all
him
like,
some kind of redemption here.
Well, like Return of the Jedi did him wrong because
Yes,
he was a shitty character. Like
he was in the
let's
background.
not act like
He looked the coolest.
he looked the coolest.
I mean, other than Darth Vader.
I
Darth
don't
Vader's cool.
understand why people love Boba Fett so much because he was shitty
before this.
before this because he was shitty at his job.
2 words: jet pack.
That's pretty much what it was. He was basically like the Rocketeer movie. You thought it was gonna be awesome, but it was like, oh, it's fine.
Well, he had that mystique around him. You know what I mean? It's not like he had a ton of dialogue.
until the prequels, and they took off his helmet and they showed him as a kid.
Right.
And like, why would you do that?
Right.
Why would you do that?
But
Show him
even
as a
with the
child.
prequels too, I think it was for the original 4 or the 4, 5, and 6. It was just the mystique of this guy who didn't say much. And yeah, he wasn't
say
a
shit.
ruined it.
Yeah, it was a
ruined
bounty
it.
hunter.
right.
Like,
right.
he's
And
the one that
just
got
being
him,
A bounty
you know?
hunter is cool as shit.
Yeah.
That's it.
He was cool as
that's
hell. Introduced in the Christmas special.
Right.
No, really.
As a
Right,
cartoon.
yeah, no, no,
As a
yeah.
cartoon. He was
Right.
introduced in the Christmas special. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he was cool. I'm like,
All right, okay, but you know what? Boba Fett's dope. That's what we're talking about. The Mandalorian. Okay,
There we go.
enough shitting on Boba.
They told me to put respect on his name. Put respect on his name.
respect
That's
on
right.
it.
And finally, they put respect on
Is
his
we finished or
name.
is we done?
They put respect on his name in episode, what is it, 6? Where he's on that planet where Grogu is on the little
On the rock and
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
rock.
yeah.
They put respect on his name.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
Good.
That was
finally.
such a
Now I
badass
understand.
episode.
Yeah, he
Now
said I
understand.
want my gear back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how he's not really I mean, he's never really a villain, but
Right.
Nah,
he's not.
he's an
like, up to-
anti-hero.
You don't see him up to any
a
like
mercenary.
shitty
Yeah.
He is
shit.
a-
you know,
Yeah, he's a mercenary.
he's
He-
honorable like
he's
his
going to do
father.
what-
Like his father.
Yeah.
But after that, like we saw that shit. Like he's gonna get his shit together. Like, I love
yeah.
it. I love
But in
it.
the last episode, I thought it was funny, like when he was blasting at the ship before they got onto the. But he was blasting at them like, make it look good.
Yeah.
You know.
The
Oh,
Imperial
yeah.
ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
So,
worry,
uh,
princess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
So
you.
as soon as
Put
that
your
was done,
shields on.
he bounced.
He
was
bounced out.
gone.
Yeah.
And, all right,
yeah.
so
Quick.
was Pershing with him at that time?
I
No, she was on the ship.
Where was Pershing the entire
They
time?
didn't take him on to the like cruiser, so,
Right, so he had-
he
Oh,
must
the
still,
doctor,
yeah,
the doctor. I
he
didn't
might
think about that.
He must still be on Slave One.
He had to be on Slave 1.
Okay.
Right?
That's a good point. I didn't even think
See?
about that.
He bounced.
Right.
That's what
Right.
that kind of threw me off. I'm like, oh, Bo-Katan, fucking flawless. I love her
I'm glad
delivery.
they brought her.
God, she is
back.
awesome.
I'm glad they brought
whoever the
Bo-Katan
actress
back.
is. I'm sorry, I
That's,
didn't do my
uh,
research, but god damn,
That
she's
is
great.
Katie Sackhoff.
Sure.
Kitty Sackhoff.
Yeah.
I'm glad they brought her back for Bo-Katan.
She
Great.
was in
She's the
Star
voice.
Wars. She was in
She's the
Star Wars
voice.
Clone Wars,
She's
and
the voice
yeah,
of
and she
her.
voiced her character in the cartoon.
You know what's dope is the fact that they had the troopers or
Dark
Troopers.
Dark Troopers, and they look like Cylons, which are from
Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica, which Katie Sackhoff was a major character in Battlestar Galactica.
Beats Bears. Battlestar
Battlestar
Galactica.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, I love Bo-Katan. I want to see more Bo-Katan. I really want to know.
And
Does she fuck up Mandalorian or does she just accept the saber, the dark saber?
yeah, they got to deal with that.
Can we talk about the plot hole?
There's a few.
All right, go ahead.
There's a plot hole there where Bo-Katan's like, oh, I can't accept the saber because I didn't win it in battle, but she was given the saber in the first place by Sabine Wren.
She did. She
Rebels.
was
Okay.
she was
In
given
Rebels. In
Sabine
Rebels.
Wren
God,
got
back me up on
or
this.
they went to Dathomir where Darth Maul was keeping it. They were just going to leave it. Like Ezra and
Sabine.
yeah, they were going
stole
to leave it,
They
but then
stole it.
Sabine took it.
Took it.
And then when they met more Mandalorians, they were like, "Holy shit, you have this? Like this could unite the clans, you know, this could, you know, help." And
gave it
she
to
gave it to
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. I mean,
Bo-Katan.
to be fair, none of them have seen it for forever. And yeah, she didn't win it from Darth Maul, but she accepted it then. I see your point that she accepted it then, like
So why
just
is it-
out of somebody's
why is it an
hands.
issue now.
Yeah, Amanda was just like, here, I don't
Yeah,
give a
just
fuck.
take it.
Just take it.
It didn't seem like,
like,
and that's
I
the only
yield.
thing
I
too. It
yield.
didn't seem like the saber was just going to fly off her hand and not go to her. So, yeah, I don't
It's
get
like
that
I
part.
yield.
Maybe.
Yeah, I yield.
I want to know what they do with that.
Yeah. Well, maybe
How are they going to
because
explain that?
That's the next thing.
Well, and that was part of the deal too for this final episode. And she was like, "You need to really, seriously reconsider joining us." And I think that's where, and we'll get to that in a little bit, where season 3 goes,
Right.
is them all teaming up together and
And all he said
more
was, "Fair enough."
Right. The whole time, we all know his intention is just getting back Grogu, aka Baby Yoda. That's his whole intention.
I'll think about it.
Because he would have totally taken that deal if Moff didn't turn his back on him and try to attack
Right,
him.
he was gonna be like, "All right, Moff."
Yeah, he was going to be like, all right, I'll get this kid and get the fuck up out of here. Later, y'all.
Right.
We all know better, though. We all know better.
John Carlo. Been the
Carlo
same way since Breaking Bad.
Gus Fring will get you.
Yep,
Let's
Gus
talk-
will get you.
Let's put some respect on his name. This guy has been around since like the first time I ever saw him was in school days.
Dude, I saw him in,
He was in Do the
Miami
Right Thing.
Vice.
Yep.
He was in an episode of Miami Vice. I know for sure.
Like he's like an actual child actor. He's been around since he was like a kid.
He's
Yeah.
amazing. He's
But he's
amazing.
been around for a long time playing the bad guys. Like I didn't watch Breaking Bad, which people look at me like
Get the
"Oh,
fuck
what?
out of here.
I
Yeah.
didn't watch Breaking Bad, but I understand he
Hey,
has
Brian,
half
turn off his
face.
mic.
Yeah, it's like,
Really?
I have that now.
Really?
We still love you, but still, you get one of these.
Okay. There aren't enough hours in the day. Okay. I mean to watch all these shows, but I accept that.
He tried to kill himself.
That is fine. He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
He's like,
Okay.
fuck this, I'm out.
Yep.
And then Sasha Banks was like, nah, son.
Thanks.
Sasha Banks like, nah, son.
With her fine ass.
With her fine
It was nice
ass.
to see her.
The boss.
Hey, I thought she
The
did good.
boss.
I think,
thought
yeah,
did
she was
good.
great.
What
I-
happened to the other dude that was with him, though? The dude
The
that
third
was-
one.
Yeah, he
Oh,
bounced.
where is he
right.
at? They don't even
Ain't no
mention him.
telling.
Where
I mean,
he at?
No boobs.
Where is he at?
They were done with him.
There you go. All right, so the tie-in with the Darksaber, like, explain that a little bit to our fans out there that may not know anything about the origins of this. I know they've probably done a little bit of quote-unquote research, but you guys have obviously watched Clone Wars
Yeah.
as well as Rebels. So between all that, you obviously do not have to be a Jedi to wield it.
No.
At all whatsoever. So what is kind of your prediction of where we see the Darksaber go into season 3? I guess if I want to word that a little bit better.
Well, the origins of the Darksaber, there was a super long time ago. We might even get into this in that High Republic thing that they're doing. There's a show coming out called The Acolyte,
Yes.
and that's supposed to take place like
Right.
so far ahead of the first trilogy of movies, or even the prequels. It's way into the past.
Okay.
And
So it's
way
based-
back
is
when.
it like Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah, I mean that's where they're gonna pull a bunch of Knights of the Old Republic shit into that, and that I think they're it's gonna be a dark acolyte's gonna be dope because it's gonna
I
be
haven't heard anything
centered.
about that.
It's gonna be centered on like a dark force user way back then. So I'm so stoked about that show. But anyway, way back in olden times, there was a guy called Tar Vizsla, and he was a Mandalorian, and he was the first Mandalorian to be trained as a Jedi. So he was both.
Oh, wow.
He was a Mandalorian Jedi.
Okay.
And so his lightsaber, he constructed the Darksaber.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
so that's where it originated. And then the Mandalorians, they be fighting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, there was that whole thing about the Civil War.
Right.
That was mentioned in Mandalorian.
right. They can
Yeah.
never, figure out what they want to do collectively. Like,
Right.
Because they be fighting.
because they be fighting. They can't, I mean, it's in my blood.
They do.
Yeah.
What they do.
Hey, weapons are part of my religion.
Right. Like Spartans.
Right,
pretty
right.
much. Yeah.
So, it went from clan to clan. They had the true Mandalorians, and then you had Death Watch Mandalorians. Death Watch Mandalorians wanted to take everything back to the ancient ways.
Yeah.
That's where you get, I think, Din Djarin was rescued by the Death Watch. They said that he was a child of the Watch. They wanted, those were the ones that kept,
Never remove your helmet.
the other,
shit like that.
yeah, but
Right.
then there's another plot hole too, because in Clone Wars, the Death Watch, they took their helmets off.
They did.
But I mean, this might be more, I don't know,
After
fanatic.
the fact.
Right, but
Yeah.
but that's like
After
something
the
that you
fact.
can look past because
Right.
this show is just so
Right.
fucking-
And I was really concerned that, you know, they were hyping up all this we can't take our helmets off shit, and then I've seen them with their helmets off in the cartoons.
We're
and
not
stuff.
even talking like years later.
Right.
It's like
No,
a
this
few
is
years.
like
a few years.
a few years
a few
later.
years. Like
But
really?
then it went from, you know, back and forth between the Mandalorian clans, and then where did Darth Maul get it? He got it from Pre Vizsla,
he got it from Pre Vizsla.
who was voiced by Jon Favreau.
That is right.
He was he was a descendant of the very first
correct.
one that
That
was
is
a
correct.
Jedi. He had the Darksaber. He was a Death Watch Mandalorian, and then he got in league with Darth Maul. Darth Maul fucked him over and killed him and took it, and then Darth Maul took it and he took over Mandalore.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's then after he had it, he took it to Dathomir, which is his home planet. I don't know if you've ever heard of Asajj Ventress.
Yes.
She's in the cartoon. She's
Yes.
badass.
She is badass.
It's not of interest. Yeah.
God,
So,
force
yeah.
choke me, baby. Anyway, sorry.
Baldy look.
But no. But no. He took it there for safekeeping. He took a bunch of shit from Mandalore and stuff there. He's from there. Nobody was really there anymore. But then a mission on Star Wars Rebels took that crew to Dathomir, and then that's when Sabine Wren got the Darksaber.
Yeah, she and
then she gave it-
the saber.
Yeah,
from-
she gave it to Bo-Katan, and then we don't know how Moff Gideon got it from her, but
Right.
he did.
Which we should probably see.
Yes.
I'm
Hopefully.
hoping we see
Right?
that.
Yeah.
Hopefully
only
they
makes
give us a
sense when we see
flashback
that.
of what happened.
All right. So with that being said, we're going to stick with the final episode here. So with when Boba Fett says, you know, Mandalore's made of like I've seen that planet turn to glass. So
Right.
does it still exist or does it not exist?
I'm
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
Very good question.
Yes.
That's what I don't understand that.
I told you I was only going to kind of come in
To
with
me,
the
it
questions.
seemed like
No, that's a
the whole
great
planet
question.
of Mandalore is like done like what's the
Like it's
planet?
Alderaan, like it's
Yeah,
gone.
Alderaan,
Right,
it's
Alderaan,
gone.
that's it.
It's gone.
Yeah.
So like,
Do you remember
so they're trying to
earlier-
take back a planet like it's not there though.
Right. But earlier they were like, the first time he met Bo-Katan,
Yeah.
and Mando said something similar. He was like, "Yeah, well, you know, Mandalore, you know, it's bombed out and depleted." You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right.
And Bo-Katan was like, "Nah, that's just Empire propaganda keeping us from our home."
Okay.
So,
okay. So
it's
unless
not-
you actually like physically
mean,
see it, then you just
Don't get me wrong, it's fucked up.
Asgard is not a place.
Right.
Asgard is a people.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
I mean, to Matt's point is that would could that be a thing too, to where they could take over a planet and then also make that Mandalore?
To be
know
fair,
what I mean?
the Mandalorians fucked their own planet up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hence the Civil War shit.
Civil Wars
Yeah.
nonstop. They fuck their planet up. That what they really do. You see it in the cartoons. Is they live. Most of the planet is bombed out and depleted, but then they
Right.
live in like these domed cities.
Okay.
So that's basically all you get on Mandalore is inside.
And
Gotcha.
Bo-Katan wants to reunite
Yes.
and be the like Queen Empress.
Right.
whatever the fuck.
Right.
Because her sister, Obi-Wan's love interest,
Oh.
was ruler there, and that's when they
Okay.
were pacifists.
Gotcha. All right.
So Mandalorians were pacifists. Is that
Yeah.
what you just said?
Yes.
yeah. When was that?
That's just it. Pre Vizsla, he was a
Right.
Death Watch guy. He was trying to take over me, like, fuck you. Let's go back to, being badasses.
All right. So again, this is for our fans that may not know much or have never watched Rebels or Clone Wars, kind of like myself. I do plan on doing it, especially after this amazing 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. So between the time frame, ballpark years wise, what are we talking here between obviously Revenge of the Sith to now? I mean, I know it's supposed to take place after episode 6. But I mean, ballpark, like, how many years is that apart, though? Because you figure,
10 years maybe.
well, I mean,
right.
but Luke's a baby.
Well, that's just it.
And that's the
he's
thing.
in A New Hope.
Right.
He's 19 years old.
Yeah,
right,
he's 19.
So there's already 20. So you figure A New Hope, everything else is about a couple years apart.
Yeah.
So we're talking like 30 years then, roughly. Let's just say ballpark from episode 3
Okay.
to where we at now. So
Where we
because to
at
me
at
that
30
makes
years.
more
Yeah,
sense.
30 years. Yeah, 30
Okay.
years.
All right, that's all.
Because it's
A
only
lot of
supposed to
people may
be
not
like
know that.
7 years after Return of the Jedi.
Right. Okay. That's all.
Oh, you're talking about the Mandalorian?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
Like, it's like 5-6 years.
Right.
Okay.
5-6 years.
That's what I thought. Because that's actually been a lot of questions I've been getting is, well, how far is it from Return of the Jedi? And
pretty sure
I
it's
was
like-
guessing
it's
it's
like
about like
5 or
5 or
6
6 years.
I'm thinking they're doing what they want to do, but eventually they're going to have to like mate it up with the sequel stuff
Right.
way far down the line. They're going to be like,
Right.
oh, well, and I think that's what they're doing, like with this
They're going
cloning
away
shit.
from that.
Right.
They're going away from that because, like,
Well, I think they're doing the cloning shit. It's like the beginning stages of,
they show-
Palpatine coming
they
back and
basically
Snoke
show,
and shit.
Snoke. They show Snoke.
Yeah.
They show Snoke.
They do show Snoke.
So, like, they're trying to.
They're going to tie in. I mean, they're not going to
trying.
as much as we would all love to see them redo the last three with Favreau. But you know, it's not going to happen. They're still going to have to stick to it a little
love
bit.
to never think about it ever again.
I think that's the end game with the Grogu blood is
Right.
the bringing Palpatine back and tying it in with that
What's
shit.
crazy
But,
they talk about the M counts,
right.
midichlorians.
Yeah.
They don't want to say it because
Yeah.
they don't even want to mention that word. But midichlorians are the M counts. If
Yeah.
you ever have questions about what
Well,
they're
they gotta
talking
get
about.
they got to get fake sciencey with it. So
Yeah.
I get it. Like I don't. I'm not a big fan of metachlorians either. But you got to explain it somehow. I guess.
Right.
Sciencey.
But
Gotta go Matrix with it.
I think yes, all this cloning shit is ultimately for Palpatine's benefit. However, I think Moff Gideon's going to try to like inject himself and try to give himself force abilities.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen with him.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Thrawn is being set up to be the next big bad, and he's on like Emperor level, and then Moff Gideon's going to be on like Darth Vader level.
I feel like Moff Gideon's done.
Really?
I think he's done. Like,
Esposito's just too busy these days. They got to get him out of there.
how many shows does this guy have? He's got so many shows.
Dude, they want him to
many
be Doctor
shows.
Doom, man.
Yeah. He was on an
that'd
episode
be
of Creep
amazing.
Show, the
He's
new
got
Creep
so
Show.
many
which was
shows.
good.
I think he's done. He's done.
All right. So what's your take on it, Kip? Yeah. Primarily, if you want to, as far as the Clone Wars Rebels connection to this, and then where you think it's going to go next, because really, I mean, that'll be the next segment of it. Is
I think
where
what
do
they're
we
going to
think it
do,
goes next?
they're going to bring in characters from Rebels. I think Ezra Bridger's coming in at some point, season 2, maybe season 3. They're going to bring in Hera. They need to.
I
They
need
should.
to see Hera,
I
man.
wanna
She's
see
so
Hera.
cool.
She's
Like
the best
she's the
character.
backbone of what would become the rebellion.
one of
like
the best
she,
characters to
she
come
put
out of
she
Dave
helped put that
Filoni's.
rebellion together,
Yeah.
and she helped them win battles too.
Yeah.
No,
I need
she's
to see
dope.
Hera. Yeah, she's great. I want to see Hera. I think they're going to bring in Rebels characters. I want to see Hera Syndulla. I want to see
Her green-headed kid.
I do want to see Ezra coming. I don't like him as a character, but I feel like he was searching for Thrawn.
Thrawn,
At the
yeah.
end of the last season of Rebels. He was searching for Thrawn.
Yeah, he actually took Thrawn into the unknown regions where
Right.
there's no maps, and he couldn't really get back in time to have any effect on
with
the
the space whales.
original trilogy.
With the space.
Yeah,
whales.
there's a lot of shit.
That's why I'm not a Filoni fan, but like everybody loves Filoni. Everybody's gonna hate me for saying that, but I'm not a Filoni fan. I think space whales are stupid.
Space what? So
Space
explain
whales.
this.
Oh my God, here we go.
Yeah. So without getting too deep into it.
like,
All right, the short version.
Yeah. So
at the
try
end,
to give us the cliff notes.
All right, at the end of Star Wars Rebels, it was their first big battle. Like it was the first time that the Rebel Alliance took on the Empire, like in a big way. They went to take back this kid Ezra Bridger's home planet. He's a main character in Rebels, but towards the end of it, his backup plan was first off, Ezra Bridger is a Jedi Padawan. He was
Of
the
Kanan Jarrus.
Padawan for Kanan
Kanan
Jarrus
Jarrus.
is Padawan, and Kanan Jarrus survived
dope.
Order 66.
and he's dope.
There's a lot of Force sensitive people or not a lot, but some survived, and so
Apparently, a bunch of people survived Order 66 as of like.
but
Dave Filoni says.
the short version. So Ezra, in order to get Thrawn the fuck away from the planet so that the rebels could take it, he summoned with the Force these things called Purgil, and they're giant space whales
Okay.
that can warp speed naturally.
Okay, so basically, what you're saying, stupid. It's stupid.
Okay.
Nani, it's
All right. So it's
stupid.
And
one,
so
it's
he
one
summoned
thing.
a bunch
It's
of
one
them
thing.
to win the battle
Sure.
and then grab the ship that
Sure.
Thrawn and Ezra were in and took them out into the unknown regions where it's not mapped, and it would take them forever to get back. And that's why you don't see Thrawn in A New Hope, Empire, or Return of the Jedi.
Okay. So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like a jump the shark. You know?
Like I
mean,
said,
he was reaching.
There's lots of good shit in those cartoons, and there's some dumb shit in there too.
Most, I was going to say most
of Rebels is
shark.
trash.
Yes.
I'm going to say it here.
Most people jump the shark.
Most of Rebels is trash. Most of it is trash. It's trash.
Do you want to get back on where we think the Mandalorian's going?
Yes.
Let's talk about Mandalorian.
Let's get away from the space whales.
Yes. Let's
talk
get
about
away from that.
Yeah, get away from the trash stuff.
I want to see more Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
I think Bill Burr was awesome.
Hey,
Space Boston.
Bill Burr,
Space Boston himself.
the second time he was on there was better than the first
Yes.
time.
oh,
The first time
way
I was
better.
like,
100%.
10 times
The
better.
first time I'm like, yep, so they're on Tatooine. I hate it. It's just fan service. and
It's
just
it goes over the line. We've been there, what, 3 times
Second
now?
But I mean,
Yeah.
Tatooine is like fucking Earth, though.
4
You know what
times
I mean?
because of the post credit scene. We've been there 4 times now.
Right. So, I mean, I get it,
lot of
though. It's just one of those.
I understand. They want
That's
to-
a ton of
they
hate.
want us to connect
But
to it.
it's just like, oh,
They
God,
want us
I
to
hate when they
connect
keep going
to
back to
the-
Earth. Like, that is the Earth of the Star
Right.
Wars
They
universe.
want us to connect to that.
Right.
There's so much
thing.
sand.
I get it.
It
I
gets
understand why.
everywhere.
Like, there
I
is a
understand
lot of
why.
hate, but I would expect more hate for like a Jar Jar Binks, though. Like, just because they go back to Tatooine, like, to me, that's not hate. It's like, oh my God, they're going back to their fucking home
Right.
planet.
Do you really think with all these projects we're not going to see Jar Jar?
No, we're not going to see Jar Jar ever again.
Ever
He's done.
again.
He's done.
I bet
Never
you
again.
right
He's done.
now.
He is done.
I bet you right now we'll see his stupid ass again.
No, he's done. He's done.
All right, so I'll just kick off real quick.
We're gonna see Hondo. We're gonna see Hondo.
Yes. Give me Hondo.
Hondo
I hate
sucks.
it, man.
Hondo sucks.
I
can't
liked Hondo
I
in Clone
can't
Wars.
stand
I hated
Hondo.
him in Rebels.
I hated him and everything.
He's a pirate.
What do you like?
Hate.
Is there anything about this universe that you like?
Matthew, what else?
Luke. I like Luke.
All right.
I like Luke. Give
Matthew,
me Luke.
what
Give
else
me
do you
more
want to
Luke.
see in season
I don't
3?
care about the deep fake Luke. I don't care. I looked at it. I was like, oh,
Me,
it looks
I want to
so
see
weird.
more Gina Carano.
It looked a little weird, but
I don't know.
liked it.
I like
liked
it. Gotta
I
keep
was
it going.
fine.
We gotta
I was
keep it
always
I'm
a
okay
Gina
with
Carano
that.
fan, and you know,
Gina Carano killed it. She's been killing
you know,
it.
she's been getting a lot of pushback, a lot of
Yeah,
flack
yeah,
because
her
of the
social
masks
media
and stuff.
and all that.
She's one of those like my face. You don't tell me
Right,
what to
yeah,
do with my
right.
mask. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Who cares? She has a job. She does the job.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of her ever since Bellator.
Yeah.
It's just I like her.
Yeah,
Don't
think she's
replace her.
great.
She's fine.
I think she's great.
More
Agreed.
Gina Carano.
great.
And I think she's going to be in a new thing with the what's the new series? There's the Rangers.
Yeah, the Rangers of the New Republic.
Yeah, I think she's going to be part of that. Which I would
she
love to
should
see
be.
that.
The Texas Rangers of the New Republic.
The Texas Rangers.
Because she's got
Featuring Chuck Norris.
she's got
Pull
the
the
she's got the
lever.
star, you know, like
Pull the
she's
lever.
a she's
Yeah.
a
She's a
fucking
marshal.
space marshal. So
Yeah.
they're gonna do a lot. God, there's so
shout
much
out to
they're
Gina
doing.
Carano.
I don't
Yeah,
think
Gina Carano.
I don't think we need 20
Bo-Katan.
Star Wars shows though. Like so
Yeah,
many
well,
Star
some of them
Wars
are one and
shows.
done. Some of them are
And
like
I mean, it was
ongoing.
Investors
There's
Day
so
too.
many.
You know, they're all in on Disney Plus because obviously the theme parks have taken a gigantic hit this year.
Right.
So at the same time, with the huge success of Mandalorian, why wouldn't you announce all this shit? Not all this shit's going to come to fruition, and even if they do, they're not all going to be hits.
No,
But at the same
No, of
time,
course
though,
not.
if
That
they,
Visions
if they
cartoon?
still,
Nah.
yeah, if they still keep going
No,
in,
thanks.
in the right direction, though. Yeah, because they announced
The
what,
droid
100
shit? Nah,
properties.
thanks.
Yeah, 100
100?
properties, and 20 of which are going to be on, or I'm sorry, 80% of which are going to be on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, this is the next 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Of shit.
Yeah, I mean, 90 million subscribers in the first season. The big plan is to get up to 230 by, I believe it's 2024. So yeah, if you want to get up to that many subscribers and you know what's hitting on all cylinders,
Yeah.
then that's what you're going to say is, here's everything coming out.
Right.
You know, is it all going to be awesome? I mean, every studio has some misses. Lucasfilm's going to have some misses. Marvel's going to have some misses with some of their TV programming.
Especially
We'll see
this
what
year.
happens.
Especially
Right.
this
I
year.
don't
They want. I
know.
mean, come on. They want to give you something to look forward to.
WandaVision looks like it looks better than I expected it to.
Every
looks
trailer
dark,
of that
it looks badass.
it looks better and better every trailer they allow.
So,
So,
like, even-
hopefully that Star Wars shit will trickle down. We'll get some
Yeah.
first looks at some good shit.
So Mandalorian season 3 is supposed to happen at the same time or be released at the same time, rather.
I don't-
as book 2.
I don't know which is going to come out
The
first.
book of
Or
Boba
both
Fett,
both
rather.
of them.
Excuse me.
Yeah, both of them are coming out December next year.
Okay.
Yeah, people were thinking that the Boba Fett show was going to be season 3,
Right.
but no,
It can't be.
They're completely
There's so
separate
much
things.
more.
The fact that they finally put respect on Luke Skywalker's name, I love that. Even though we saw it through like video and he's doing his thing, it was very reminiscent of Rogue One when Vader came through. And
And then we
the
saw
doors
Leia
open.
too
Yeah.
at the end of that.
Yeah. You know, but he came through and we finally saw him do what we've been waiting for him to do for like 30 years. That's
Right.
what I was waiting for.
No, it
Yeah.
was great.
See
Yeah.
him do something. I'm like, all right. So we see how he's progressed, even though it's only a couple of years after, like,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
No, that's a
Return
good
of the
point.
Jedi. We finally see him like see what he does with the Force, and like when he had the lightsaber behind his back and was like, and then like
Right.
the last, like I'm gonna call him a Cylon because he's a Cylon, but
The last one?
the last one,
Yeah.
like
Crunched
force,
him,
he
yeah.
force crushed him. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Yeah.
And I loved every bit of that. And I don't even care that the deep fake looked a little weird.
Yeah,
it was
it
like,
did.
people were complaining about that. I didn't really care about that. I'm like,
do you
it's
expect?
fine. What do you expect?
Well,
I thought he looked great. I mean,
I
this
thought
is-
he looked
this
great as
computer
well.
technology.
I think
and,
it-
and they
I thought
brought
he looked
back.
great as well.
Yeah.
I thought he looked great. I'm like, why is everybody
Yeah.
like having a shit fit about
Now,
it?
now, real quick question. When he saw the X-wing, who thought it was Luke?
I knew it was-
everybody.
yeah, I knew it was.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I was
Like,
immediately like, "Oh,
it's
this
Luke.
is it."
And
This
they
is
showed
it.
the one glove. He had
Yeah.
the glove
Yeah.
on him. Like it's
That's
Luke.
when you knew
It's
it was
Luke.
him.
It's
Yeah.
Luke.
Well, I mean, the X-wing. It could have been one of those Ranger guys.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
But you knew it. Come on.
That would
You
have
knew
been
that.
a
You knew a
complete
Jedi was
disservice.
coming.
That would
Yeah.
have been a complete
Well,
disservice to all
the
of
green
the fans.
sabers.
Yeah.
At the time, we didn't know anybody
And then
was
they
coming.
pulled out the
They thought
green saber. Like there
Yeah.
were so many telltale signs
Yeah.
that it was Luke. I
Yeah.
was like, yes, this is what
He
we
reached
wanted.
out to
I
somebody.
agree.
This is
That
what we
was
wanted.
that was
This is
very
what we
reminiscent.
wanted.
And one of my favorite parts of Rogue One is literally at the end because you see these two guys battle it out in episode 5, episode 6, but that's about it. You don't really see them like fuck a lot
Go
of
at
people
it.
up.
Yeah.
Right.
And we see
Right.
that with Darth Vader at the end of Rogue One.
Right.
We finally now see it with Luke at the end of this episode. Like, he's obviously
Because like
kicking ass, doing his thing.
One,
Right.
Rogue One was the first time we seen like really like, besides him like Skype choking somebody. Besides seeing
Right.
Vader Skype choking somebody,
Right.
we're like, oh, he's pretty powerful, I guess.
Right.
But like this is the first time we see him really put in work.
Right.
And then this time we're like, all right, now it's Luke.
Yeah,
So
Luke
it
versus
mirrors
the
that.
Dark Troopers on top
Right.
of that. Not
So-
exactly a walk in the park.
Right.
well, you see the progression of Luke from farm boy to Jedi like nobody to
And
Right.
he's still dressed in all black.
Even-
like
yeah,
he did
e-
in Return of the Jedi.
even in Return of the Jedi, he's not like a badass yet. He just
Right.
happens to know more than he did in Empire,
Yeah.
But this is like he's been, hitting the books and hitting the gym.
We don't
he's,
know why he knows more in
he's-
Return of the Jedi.
He's giving it the old college try.
Right.
He only trained with Yoda for like a week.
he really did. But
And people are so angry about Rey. I'm like, really? Like, oh, she has no training. I'm like, did Luke have much more training than Rey?
yeah.
No, this ain't
talk
about
about
Ray.
that.
We talking about
All right,
Mandalorian
all right,
right
we're
now.
talking about that. We're gonna push that.
I
under the
love
rug.
that they brought Luke in. I knew a Jedi was coming. It could have been Kyle Kestis from the video game.
That
It
would've
could have
been
been
dope. That
Ezra
would've been
Bridger from Rebels, but I'm so glad it was Luke Skywalker.
It could have
For
only
a-
been him.
For a brief second, I thought it was going to be Sebastian Stan.
No,
That's
For
a
a
rumor.
Real brief.
That
That's
would
a
have
rumor.
that would have made me angry because like when he takes off his hood, if you see Sebastian Stan's face, are you really gonna feel the same way you felt when you saw Mark Hamill's face?
After I saw
even though
that
it was
green
weird,
lightsaber
even
in
though it
that
was
glove,
weird,
I
even
knew
though-
exactly
Yeah.
who that
Yeah.
motherfucker
Right.
was.
You were already
Right.
sold.
Right. And
But
you got to realize, too,
pulls
we
off
don't have
his
this
hood,
technology.
You see
That's what
Sebastian
we're seeing.
Stan, you see Bucky Barnes. And
Right.
you're like, oh, it's Bucky Barnes. He's here to save the day. I'm like, all right.
No, I see
cool.
your
Nah,
point.
I want to see Mark Hamill.
I'm glad it was Mark Hamill's face.
It had to have been.
However, if it was Sebastian Stan, I would have put it together.
Yeah.
The average fan's not going to put that together, Donnie. They're not going to put that together. I'm sorry. They're
What I
not.
like though, well, my assessment of the CG face it was better than Jeff Bridges in Tron Legacy, but it was worse.
They've come a long way since then.
But I mean, come on, it was worse than Michael Douglas in fucking Ant-Man. Like Michael Douglas in
that was
Ant-Man
really-
looked
and
fucking
Michelle Pfeiffer.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't. But
I think it's
Luke
different.
didn't
Yeah,
look very
I think
well.
that's that Marvel
that's
Studios.
all-
I think it's different because
That's
like
all ILM,
because
baby.
What you're talking about? You're talking about like de-aging versus like deep fake. That's
That is,
different.
this dude's alive. He was there.
Yeah.
Deep
He was
fake is
there,
different.
beard and
It's-
all.
Same thing. Yeah.
Deep fake is different than like de-aging because like I myself have put my face on Hulk's face.
But
I
it
wasn't-
is
That ain't
de-aging.
the
I don't know
same
if you-
shit. We're talking about apps right now.
It's de-aging though.
We can't do that. We can't do that for a
de-aging.
Disney
It wasn't.
Plus.
They didn't de-age him. They
Carrie-
didn't de-age him.
Carrie Fisher
They
would-
deep faked him. They
Carrie-
deep faked him.
Well, Carrie, I guess she was alive.
They deep faked him.
Oh,
It just didn't look as good as
They
Ant-Man.
pulled
no, it did
a-
not. But that's that Marvel Studios.
They
money,
pulled
though.
a Captain America, like the first Captain America.
They all
when his
own
face
all
looked
that
a little
shit. It
weird.
should all
His
be
face
the
looked a
same.
I'll
little
admit,
weird.
when I saw, I knew it was
That's
Luke
what they
because
did.
I saw the
Right.
globe
They
and the
didn't
green.
de-age him.
I,
They
you know,
didn't
all that
de-age
shit
him.
leading up to it. But then they showed his face, and I'm like, that's supposed to be Luke.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really.
Right, it wasn't the best special effects job, but neither was fucking Henry Cavill in Justice League when they had to CGI
That
his
shit was
mustache
weak.
off.
That shit was
You know what I mean?
horrible.
So I'm glad it was him. I will agree. But if we do a whole season, because they're all talking about not Mark Hamill, that Luke's going to be back. Whether here and there, season 3 and 4, they are going to have to bring in a Sebastian Stan who
I don't think
looks
he's
a
going
lot
to be.
like him.
I don't think he's going to be back that much.
Well, yeah, but I'm just
That's
saying
why
though,
they used Mark Hamill instead of Sebastian
All right,
Stan.
so
They're
that-
not
if
going to
that's
need
the
him.
case,
They're not
I
gonna
agree.
need him.
If that's the
bringing
If
case,
him
they
back.
needed him, they'd bring in Sebastian Stan.
They're not bringing them back.
No, I think for fan service, you have to bring him back at least for that scene. And then if you decide to have him in more episodes, then yeah, you bring in Sebastian Stan and save yourself because that shit's not cheap.
I don't feel
like
Sebastian
people
Stan
don't
looks that much
understand
like
the
Mark Hamill.
Irishman.
What's cheaper, Sebastian Stan's
no,
fee
but the
or the
Irish-
de-aging on somebody?
No, that's the thing. The aging on someone is way more expensive than someone else's fee. I mean, the Irishman. That's why the budget was so much to make Pacino and all those
The
guys
fucking
look
Irishman
younger.
look better than this shit.
Yeah, but Netflix paid $160 million. These episodes, if you have Disney Plus cranking out $160 million episodes, we're in the wrong line of fucking work.
We're talking
Okay?
about Netflix.
That's how much
versus
a movie
fucking
cost.
Netflix versus
That's how much a movie costs.
Disney. Like they have more money than God right now, so they can do whatever. But
Disney can, but within reason. You're talking about a TV show compared to a movie. I mean, even
True.
Game of Thrones, like
Facts.
the normal budget was $10 million. So yes, of course the de-aging is going to look better. We're still talking about a
Right.
TV show over here. We're talking about practice. All right,
Yeah,
We're
but
talking
they
about
brought
practice.
Luke Skywalker in.
Right, they brought Luke Skywalker
I
back
didn't
for
care.
all
I
of
did
it.
not care at all.
Yeah.
They pulled
Yeah.
As soon
it
as I
off.
saw him pull the hood back, I was like, "All right, I'm all about it."
Yeah.
I didn't care. He looked a little funny. His chin was weird. I don't care. I didn't care
His
at
butt
all.
chin.
His butt chin.
Did you cry?
care.
Did you cry when Grogu went?
Tears.
Oh
When
man,
Grogu left
I didn't.
with him?
I wasn't like bawling.
I didn't
but
care
it was,
at all.
Because here's the thing: a lot of people don't remember too. Like this is also Grogu's the first person to touch the Mandalorian's face, and
Right.
God
True.
knows how long.
Right.
And that's what he wanted to do is just be like, I want to see you before I leave and get the okay. That to me, I was like, holy shit.
It's
and
like a-
then,
that's like a
and
callback.
then you see
That
the
part.
R2D2 come up, and I was
They
like,
have a whole conversation.
yeah.
they need. Yeah,
Yeah.
they needed something to break the. It
was
Right.
I felt like it was
Because Luke's
gratuitous.
standing there like, I mean, I know I'm supposed to take
I'm
him,
gonna
but-
go now.
Right,
They
thank
don't
you for
even
taking
know
care of
Luke's
this
name.
kid, but I got to bounce.
They don't even know Luke's name at this point.
No,
Are
he
you a
never said
Jedi?
it.
He's like,
Yeah.
yes, I am.
Well, you heard him. She's
Yes,
like, "What
I
do you?"
am.
She's like, "Manda, what do you know about Jedi?" He's like, "Nothing."
Right.
Not a damn thing.
Like, come on, man.
Not a damn thing. I don't know anything.
I do.
That Return of the Jedi was full of shit, man. Nobody knew about it.
I do. One more thing. I do think that R2 recognized Grogu, and Grogu recognized R2 because he grew up. He grew up in the Jedi Temple. R2 was in the fucking Jedi Temple all the time.
So who saved
Back
Grogu?
then.
Who saved
Gotcha.
Grogu?
I don't know. I think it was the librarian chick.
Yeah, Jocasta knew.
Yeah. The
Jocasta knew.
the Jedi librarian
That would make sense.
from Clone Wars or Attack of the Clones,
Attack of the Clones,
and
and she was cut out.
the cartoon.
Yeah, in the cartoon.
Or maybe Anakin was like, "Come on, man, I can't kill this cute thing."
How many kids did he kill?
Yeah, no shit, right?
All of them.
Let's all remember what Anakin
All
did,
of
okay?
them.
That's the thing. I think it makes it so easy for people to forget, too, because of Clone Wars and Rebels, because they're like, Oh yeah, he's doing all this shit. It's like,
Yeah,
just
he's a
you wait.
hero.
Just you wait.
Yeah.
This motherfucker kills everybody.
This dude's got some hang-ups.
He killed one that looked like Ahsoka.
Yeah, he hates sand.
Gross.
That's going to do it for the Mandalorian episode out there. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, the Believe Podcast Network, BLEAV Podcast Network, the number one podcasting podcast net. Blah, blah, blah. I will start that over again. Believe Podcast Network, the number one podcasting network for professionals. Of course, betonline.ag for all your sports gambling needs. And
I'm Ron Barney.
only because I feel like that's legal to say. And speaking of being legal,
Those are needs.
That's why, yes, they are needs. I don't know how legal they are. So speaking of which, that's why we have Andrew Newman, attorney at law, taking care of all your civil, criminal, and traffic court needs. Again, the website is attorneynewman.com, taking care of all your needs all across North Carolina. And of course, the beautiful people that are taking care of our website, that is Zibster, Zibster. And of course, the website is popculturepodcast.com. On behalf of Kip, J-Non, Matthew, and myself, B. Hearn, thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope you have a great 2021. Happy New Year, everybody. Of course, as you know, there were spoilers ahead. We gave you a week and a half to watch this shit. And if it hasn't ruined it for you already, as far as being on Facebook, someone's going to mess it up for you before we ever do.
Like Flathers.
Yes. Flathers was like that night. So big shout out to Flathers for trying to ruin it the night of. So old Stumble Silskins Flathers.
So I'm an insomniac. I watch that shit at 3 a.m.
Yes, he did.
every time.
He
I
shot
know.
me.
I
He
mean-
shot me a text at 4 a.m. He's like,
watched it
"Dude,
3
watch the
times.
credits."
I know. I should have. I should have known better. And of course, be sure to check out our trivia nights. Jadon will be there Tuesdays at Odin Brewery.
at
There
Odin
you go.
Brewing. While the restrictions are in place, we're doing it 6:30 to 8:30, and then after that, we'll go back to our normal 7 to 9. Stumble Stiltskins, we're going strong 7 to 9 on Wednesday nights, and then Friday nights back at Stumbles again for another round 7 to 9.
There you go. Be sure to check out Jerry for our local trivia nights. God bless you. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow us on all social media formats, and we will see you next time. Peace.
This is the way.
Peace.
Yeah! Victory! And anger management? Fuck anger management.
Thank you for listening to Believe. You can show support to your host by subscribing to the show and giving us a 5-star rating on your preferred platform. Check us out at Believe.com and search for BLEAV on YouTube.
Hey, it's Michelle Beadle. That's right, the Michelle Beadle. You're welcome. You love talking about sports. I love talking about sports. You know the only thing cooler than talking about sports? Sports! And right now, all your favorite sports are on Sirius XM. I'm talking every NFL game, every game from the NBA, NHL, MLB, every NASCAR race, golf major conference college sports, and all the top games in the WNBA. If it gets your heart pumping, it's on Sirius XM. So start your free trial of Sirius XM today. Visit SiriusXM.com/believe.